Om Sairam, Sri Sairam, Jai Jai Sairam. Chapter 5, Part 2. In this chapter, we'll see about wrestling bout with Mohideen and changing life, turning water into oil, and the pseudo Guru Jawhar Ali. Wrestling bout with Mohideen Kamboli and change in lifestyle. To return to other stories of Baba, there was a wrestler in Shirdi by name Mohideen Kamboli. Baba and he did not agree on some points and both had a fight. In this, Baba was defeated. Thenceforth, Baba changed his dress and mode of living. He donned kafni, wore a langot, and covered his head with a piece of cloth. He took a piece of sackcloth for his bed and was content with wearing torn and worn out rags. He always said that poverty is better than kingship, far better than lordship. The Lord is always brother of the poor. Gangagir was also very fond of wrestling. While he was once wrestling, a similar feeling of dispassion descended over him, and at the proper time he heard the voice of an adept saying that he should wear out his body playing with God. So he too gave up sansara and turned towards God realization. He established a month on the banks of the river near Punta Bay and lived there with his disciples. Sai Baba did not mix and speak with the people. He only gave answers when he was questioned. By day he always sat under the neem tree, sometimes under the shade of a bubble tree near the stream at the outskirts of the village. In the afternoon, he used to walk at random and go at times to Nimgon. There he frequented the house of Bala Sahib Dengle. Baba loved Mr. Bala Sahib. His younger brother named Nana Sahib had no son, though he married a second wife. Bala Sahib sent Nana Sahib for taking darshan of Sai Baba, and after some time, with his grace, Nana Sahib got a son. From this time onwards, people began to come in numbers to see Sai Baba, and his fame began to spread and reached Ahmednagar. From thence, Nana Sahib Chandorkar and Keshav Chidambar and many others began to come to Shirdi. Baba was surrounded by these devotees during day and slept at night in an old and dilapidated masjid. Baba's paraphernalia at this time consisted of a chilm, tobacco, a tumbril, long kafni, a piece of cloth round his head, and a satka which he always kept with him. The piece of white cloth on the head was twisted like a matted hair and flowed down from the left ear on the back. This was not washed for weeks. He wore no shoes, no sandals. A piece of sackcloth was his seat, and most of the day he wore a kopin, and for warding of cold, he always sat in front of a duni facing south, with his left hand resting on the wooden railing. In the duni, he offered an oblation of egoism, desires, and always uttered Allah Male. The masjid in which he sat was only of 2-room dimensions, where all devotees came and saw him. After 1912, there was a change. The old masjid was repaired and a pavement was constructed. Before Baba came to live in this masjid, he lived for a long time in a place Takia, where within Gungru tied on his ankles, Baba danced beautifully and sang with tender love, turning water into oil. Sai Baba was very fond of lights. He used to borrow oil from shopkeepers and keep lamps burning the whole night in the masjid and temple. This went on for some time. The Banyas who supplied oil gratis once met together and decided not to give him oil. When, as usual, Baba went to ask for oil, they all gave him a distinct no. Unperturbed, Baba returned to the masjid and kept the dry wicks in the lamps. The Banyas were watching him with curiosity. Baba took the tumbril, which contained very little of oil, but put water into it and drank it, and then forced it fall into the container. And after consecrating the tin pot in this way, he again took the water from the tin pot and filled all the lamps with it and lighted them. To the surprise and dismay of the watching Banyas, the lamps began to burn and kept burning the whole night. The Banyas repented and apologized, and Baba forgave them and asked them to be more truthful in future. The pseudo Guru Jawhar Ali. 5 years after the wrestling bout, the above mentioned one fakir from Ahmednagar by name Jawhar Ali came to Rahata with his disciples and stayed in Bakhar near Veerabhadra temple. The fakir was learned, could repeat the whole Quran and had a sweet tongue. Many religious and devout people of the village came to him and began to respect him. With the help of the people, he started to build an Iddah, that is a walled enclosure in which Mohammedans pray on Eid day. Near the Veerabhadra temple, there was some quarrel about this affair, on account which Jawahar Ali had to leave Rahata. Then he came to Shirdi and lived in the masjid with Baba. People were captured by his sweet talk and he began to call Baba his disciple. Baba did not object and consented to be his chela. Then both Guru and Chela decided to return to Rahata and live there. The Guru never knew his disciple's worth, but the disciple knew the shortcomings of the Guru. Still, he never respected him, observing carefully his duties. He even served the master in various ways. They used to come to Shirdi off and on, but their main stay was in Rahata. The loving devotees of Baba in Shirdi did not like that Baba should stay away from them in Rahata, so they went in a deputation to bring Baba back to Shirdi. When they met Baba near the Idgah and told the purpose for which they came, Baba said to them that the fakir was an angry, ill-tempered fellow. He would not leave him, and that they should better go back to Shirdi without him before the fakir returned. While they were thus talking, the fakir turned up and was very angry with them for trying to take away his disciple. There was some hot discussion and altercation, and it was finally decided that both the Guru and Chela should return to Shirdi, and so they returned and lived in Shirdi. But after a few years, the Guru was tested by Devidas and he was found wanting. 12 years before Baba arrived in Shirdi with the marriage party, this Devidas, aged about 10 or 11 years, came to Shirdi and lived in the Maruti temple. Devidas had fine features and brilliant eyes, and he was dispassion incarnate and a dhyani. Many persons, namely Tatya Kote, Kashinath and others, regarded him as their guru. They brought Jawahar Ali in his presence, and in the discussion that followed, Jawahar was worsted and fled from Shirdi. He went and stayed in Bijapur and returned after many years to Shirdi and prostrated himself before Sai Baba. The delusion that he was Guru and Sai Baba is Chela was cleared away, and as he repented, Sai Baba treated him with respect. In this case, Sai Baba showed by his conduct how one should get rid of egoism and do the duties of the disciple to attain highest end, namely self-realization. This story is told here according to the version given by Mahalspati, a great devotee of Baba. In the next chapter will be described Ram Navami festival, the masjid, its former condition and later improvement in it, etc. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Thank you.